Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Hell's Vengeance, the Adventure Path for First Edition from Paizo Publishing, the Foul Play... No, now we are the Foul Parody podcast. We're staring down the barrel of Halloween, and just an episode, possibly two, if we do a doubleheader tonight, for your viewing pleasure, which I will edit and cram up over the weekend, because there's no sense of being evil on November 1st. It's all got to be done before All Hallows Eve. So welcome back. Joining us tonight, returning as his role as Nikolai? Is it Nikolai or Nico? Okay, but is there like a long version of your name? Okay. Oh, 1 second here. Sorry, a little odd discrepancy. Nico or Nikolai?
Either or. You choose. I like Nico. Nico works. It's a term of endearment.
All right. So, without further ado, I bring your attention to going back in time, because yesterday we did a bottle episode, or in the game day we did a bottle episode of three little armband wearing douchebags that shook down a poor innocent merchant. I mean, the guy's just trying to make a living, and now with a whole bunch of intimidation and seeing that he was in the wrong, we took him for a potion of invisibility and 20% off of all future purchases. Not bad. Not too shabby. Let's bring up the good old map of Longacre, and so that we can explore once more. Going back in time, and of course, because I just love this overindulgent, morning happy music. Okay, fine, I won't play it. Nico, you and Miss Simmery were approached by the Archbaron's guard. Now, the Archbaron, as I said before, does have guards stationed at the walls and around the countryside, but you guys are the sort of law within the city. So they come in, they find you guys at the jailhouse, and they say that there is someone trying to gain access at one of the gates, and they want you to come talk to them. So you get almost to the gate, and then all of a sudden, Simmery, who was your escort, and the guy stayed behind to look on other things, suddenly remembers something and says, you go ahead, I will catch up with you very, 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 very shortly. And sort of leaves you with, Guard Bob.
Yes, my first stroll.
Yeah.
Look deeply into my eyes.
Anyway, she just literally wanted to run 1 block away. She will be appearing oh so shortly. So,
sure.
But as for you, he takes you to the north gate. So, if I'm looking at this map correctly, that would be to the left, or what's regularly the west. Right?
Okay.
To the Longacre Docks and Whisper River out the left side, that is the north gate near number 1. Okay. We came from I believe it's number 11, the jailhouse, so not very long. You just round the corner up the road on a northeasterly wind straight up to the gate. Standing outside the gate, heavily armed and armored. No wonder the guards didn't want to just open the gate and let this dude in. You see what looks to be someone or something not entirely human. This stands at the gate. Huge shield, bow, arrows not drawn, lots of swords, a mace, heavy scale mail. Dude definitely looks like a soldier or some kind of heavy scout. Gray skin, tusks that jut up on a wide variance, a flaring arched nose, red, beady eyes, bald gray head, and large, shall we say, World of Warcraft elven-style ears.
Yeah. A real lady killer.
Yes. Do you have knowledge nature, knowledge local?
I have knowledge history.
Okay, yeah, that would work. I'll up to DC a bit, but it still works.
23.
Oh, this is a hobgoblin.
What do I know about hobgoblins?
They are way bigger and way smarter and have a very military mindset like bugbears. Conquest is all, order, rank, and file, that kind of thing. So the fact that this guy may actually be a legit soldier or mercenary or something. Question. Okay. Anyway, guard leans in and said he's been snarling and barking at the gate. We think he wants in, but I can't understand a thing this dude says.
Can't wait to hear your voice for this guy. Of course, my friend. I shall take care of this. So I'll approach him.
Okay. So you let them open the gate and you just walk out there on your own?
Yep.
Okay.
My friend, what has brought you to our peaceful town?
What languages do you speak, sir? Are you speaking in common at the moment?
Common.
Okay.
And the Ustalov tongue. Whatever that is. I think that's about all I have, really.
Okay.
I may have a bonus language. I haven't selected it yet. No, actually, I speak Abyssal. I have selected it. I speak Abyssal and Common.
All right. So we start off, you're addressing him in common.
Yep.
Okay. He narrows his eyes at you, and there's a long pause. And he says, Jagar of Vulture Crag be my name. Who or what are you?
I am Nikolai Anatoly.
And he accents his question with a sniff, like sniffing the air. These guys totally look like your regular goblin-y goblins from Lord of the Rings, like the little bald head dudes or whatever. Very, very similar.
And as for what I am, well, my friend, we've only just met. That is none of your business. But as you are apparently wanting access to our peaceful town, perhaps you could enlighten me as to the reason for your visit. I'll throw out a bit of diplomacy there.
Sure.
Shabba-da-doo, wabba-da-boo. Ooh, a 13.
I have told you, I am Zygar, a mercenary for the Duke of Remnesia.
Mercenary, you say?
Yes.
Do you come bearing news for the master of this town?
What do you know about Remnesia?
What do I know about Remnesia?
Can I have a local? Can I have a local and or history?
I don't have local. I got history.
Okay.
11.
That's not that bad.
A little bit.
Remnesia is supposed to be historically on the river somewhere that Longacre's on. Knowledge geography, do you have that?
Nope.
Okay.
You're a very knowledgeable fellow.
That's all right. You don't know where it is, but you do know historically it's mentioned to be a river, side port like Longacre, but bigger. Whether it's north, south, or somewhere on this river, you're not certain. But as far as its history, I do believe we've already have that for you part and parcel, do we not?
You do, yes. But I don't know how much of this I know. Do I know it all?
13? It's I wouldn't go into ancient history with it, but go ahead. Not bad.
Basically, there are rebels there. fighting the oppression of House Thrune. But they were stopped in their attempt when the angel they believed was guiding them turned out to be an Aranis in disguise. I know that. What else do I know?
Perhaps you could
That's it.
parlay this as Nico in conversation to test his knowledge, see if he's telling the truth. That was my initial intent to toss you an email.
Okay. Mercenary, you say? You wouldn't happen to be one of the rebels fighting the oppression of House Thrune, would you? I look at him wryly.
I serve the Duke, he says. Sense motive?
Natural 20 for 21.
Yeah, he seems legit. He also throws in that I'm returning from Ishgar to serve there again. I'm heading south, but I wanted to stop here for supplies. Why is the city sealed? Why do these fools? And he throws a sniff towards the guards. It's like waving at you behind the gate. You got this, buddy? What are these fools barring my access? I have the proper identification. And he pulls out papers. Walks up.
Well, why didn't you say so, my friend? Let me see.
Okay. He walks up, hands them to you. They're dated. They're at least several years old.
20 to appraise?
Yeah, they're legit, but they're outdated. That's the thing. Like, say he started service 5-10 years ago, had the papers, service ended a year ago, he goes off to Isgar and comes back. He still has the, till they expire, as it were, right? So perhaps this is why the guards thought it was shady that he might have lifted them from someone, just took the name. Because it doesn't say, it just says, like Zygar of the Crag, just some very basic information. It doesn't say that he's a hobgoblin or anything like that.
Okay. You must understand, my friend. We are not trying to waylay you. There are certain precautions that we must take during these times of unrest.
Can I assume that has something to do with the Emodians I saw?
There is a possibility of this, yes.
Then perhaps information will buy my entry into your fair little town. If that's not good enough for you, I'll leave peacefully. And he's just blaring at you
What time of day are we at now?
It's like the morning. It's like, 9, 10 a.m. Like first thing in the morning. Yeah.
Information, my friend. And I'll look at the guards and kind of wave them to open the gate.
Okay.
Come, let us discuss.
All right.
And I will see to it that you are supplied.
All right. Let's start with a stiff drink, shall we? Sense motive. As if you didn't pick that up, obviously. That you're buying. All right. DC of 5.
16.
16, yeah. He's...
Of course. It's the least I can do to make up for the, what is the word I'm looking for?
insult.
Cautiousness of the guards. You cannot fault them. Your paperwork is outdated, and you must forgive me, but your appearance is rather savage. You seem to have been in the wilderness for some time, and I'll hand his papers back to him.
All right.
Come, my friend. Let us,
Okay. Now, you can take him to the notary, get them updated. Might be a good...
not first.
Okay. Because, like I said, unless you literally have the hand on this guy's shoulder, he could cause trouble.
Yep.
He could get thrown out of town. This is saying, like, the papers might be a tactical first move, unless you want to get that drink in him and get the information just in case something goes sideways.
That's the plan.
Okay.
Come, my friend, come. I will make good for this waste of time. And I'll lead him to... Oh, I know exactly where to take him. What's the name of that place where we busted up the barkeep?
The Last Stand?
That's it. I have a friend. He has a wonderful tavern here in town. He makes a mean pot of chili. And yeah, take him there.
That'll make a fine dessert. Implying that it's like light sauce for him. All right. So, scene fades back up.
Before I leave the gate,
Yep.
I'll have them send word to Simri to meet us there.
Okay. You ever play GTA 5 when it switches characters and it just does that? It fades to satellite, then pans the city over and comes back right down who you want to talk to. Imagine that. The scene fades up almost to cloud level very, very quickly. And you see the people speed up like fast ants. And you see 3 people crawling our party from last episode, crawling all over the merchant, settling up with him, coming to some kind of agreement. And then the sun slows down. And before exiting the bar with several drinks in you, anyway, this guy calls you on the drinks and wants them coming. And if you're fun to drink with, he'll even, pay his share. Can I have a little diplomacy or intimidation? Maybe a little RP to get juices flowing, get his tongue waggling?
A little 17 on the diplomacy.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And so tell me, my friend, what brings you to these parts?
Okay. Give you a +1 for every drink you buy him.
I'll buy him as many drinks as he can.
Okay.
Wait, let me just check my finances first. Oh, yeah, I'm good.
No, that's not, One for the apology, 2 to be friendly,
Yep.
right? Put the third one in front of him and you start the actual conversation, enough of the pleasantries, right? You get him up to 20. That kind of thing.
Yep.
So there I was, minding my own business, and I happened to pass close to Citadel Danyar, and I see cavalry, knights, humans that must have driven out the Hell Knight Order, the Order of the Godclaw, from the Citadel. I laid low, took the long way around, forcing me to stop here eventually.
And so they were bearing the sigil of Imode, you say?
Not just that. One of their finest, their leader, Alexandria Consorelian. Don't ask me to say that twice. These teeth are killing me.
This is most interesting. Yes, this information is more than worthy to gain your entrance to this town, though I suggest you stop by the notary and have your paperwork updated before you leave. It will perhaps save you the hassle in the future.
I did unfortunately run into some of their scouts, but mistaking me for a common mercenary or monster, before I cut their heads from their shoulders, I did find them constantly evoking the name of their cause, a glorious reclamation. And he spits on the ground. Bullshit, if you ask me. Oh, I'm aging. Get more drinks into me.
Maybe it's the drinks that are doing it.
I'm melting. Scene pulls out, and he starts talking a little bit more, just detail what he saw, like say, the heraldry of it, that kind of thing. Plug for more info, keep the drinks flowing. And now we come back to our original party of Luca, Rom, and Professor Niles Cronin, where before ending the day, Luca wanted to make sure that his little dagger symbols and everything made it way to urchins. And then he asks, or tells you guys, but he always sounds like he's asking a question, he's happy about it, that he's sure his master saw that wizard. And if you guys aren't going to have the balls to go see that one wizard that he mentioned, that we all talked him out of, he's going to go on his own and see what he can find out. And off he goes in a poof of dark-winged duck smoke. So by the time you and Simmery, where is Simmery? She said she'd be a minute. Hopefully she got your missive to redirect her from the gate to the actual Last Stand Tavern. Whoops. Anyway. What do you want to do with your new friend? For you, it's, is it time to get going? You want to send him on his way, get him the hell out of town, or Just leave him going, thank you. You know, go about your business, buddy.
I'm kind of gonna do the thank you and go about my business, but I'm gonna just be like, unfortunately, my friend, I must depart. I shall leave you to your business, but bear in mind there is a curfew, and unless you want to be locked in the town overnight, you should be out of it before sundown.
What? You liquor me up for information, and you throw me out before I have a chance to rest? What is this?
I did not say you had to leave. I just said if you intended to leave, you should be out before sunset as the gates are closed.
These humans don't scare me. You have noticed that while we've been chatting, a lot of people have been taking note of the two of you, and they're murmuring rather suspiciously amongst themselves. They really don't like the look of this guy or the fact that he's here. And just like, I mean, like anyone and everyone that comes here, right? Now, Clagan, right, doesn't serve you. He makes sure that like a waitress does, but they're very short with you. They like, you know, they just come up, raise their eyebrows. What do you want? Drinks. They get them immediately, barring other service, bring them to you, and then hold them until you pay. You put your money up,
which is fine.
Put your money up front. They put them down to like, you know, they're very curt with you, but he doesn't throw you out. Anyway, the entire time, maybe because Clagan himself doesn't seem to like you and is watching you closely, that the rest of the bar picks up on this vibe. Or, you know, allowing what's technically
could be that a damn fear is sitting at a table with a hobgoblin.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a small little town, you know. God forbid there should be a little bit of, you know, racism and stuff. Anyway, just to share, you know, as your little friend there, before I take him down. And if there's nothing else from you, and I'll put the city back up, or the town back up. And, you know, the day's getting on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like very late. It's probably at this point, we're somewhere between the 12 and 2 o'clock mark. When did we leave you, Rom? First thing in the morning, you went and dealt with the grocery store, and then you kind of ran into the guy in the market. So midday, you guys packed it in?
Yeah, it'd probably be about that time.
Yeah. So, how's the drinking on your end? Are you just like feeding him and nursing yours, or are you matching him drink for drink? He doesn't.
I'm gonna go at like a 1-to-2 ratio. So for every 2 drinks he has, I'll have 1.
All right.
I don't want to seem like I'm
okay.
Not drinking with him, but I don't want to.
Well, he knocks back 3, and you get him into his third. He starts talking, which slows down his consumption. But you know, if we're talking a couple hours, he'll definitely take you for 6 beers, that kind of thing.
Sure.
You know, you have 3.
Yep.
Okay. So you got a happy little buzz on. Head back. At the jailhouse, you find only Rom and Professor Niles. Professor Niles is lecturing, educating, discussing something with Rom that does seem more like some kind of obscure education than anything else. Professor Niles?
Oh, you're not fully understanding the digestive tract. When you're saying it goes in your mouth and it comes out the other end, it's not a straight line, my friend. There's many things that are involved in this process. I can attest to you, I have seen them.
Right. But I'm not actively doing anything, so all I care about is the entrance and the exit.
But you do have cause and concern that you should understand what is going on the inside, and there's a reason why this is salad with these pine nuts is much better than that.
Explain to him why he has cramps. Because the reason he thought he has cramps was like completely a different type of medicine.
And a diet consistent entirely of meat is sure to cause problems.
But this, and he holds up, you know, just a leg of mutton, just tastes better. Therefore, it should be eaten. It's simple.
Enter Nico at this point.
Nico.
Hello, my friends. How are you doing?
He says his grin is extra wide today.
I met the most interesting fellow at the North Gate. We had a few drinks. Maybe or maybe not we should be wary. It was a hobgoblin, a mercenary, from the neighboring city of, I forget the name, Ramessian.
Well, that's why you shouldn't be drinking this early.
Remesia. Remesiana. Do you have any local or historical knowledge of Remnesia, boys?
Let's find out.
Not at all.
Roll and pull up the emails I sent you.
Knowledge history. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's you, Rom? You got any local or historic knowledge?
Nope.
17 untrained.
Oh, untrained?
Untrained.
It's backwater city, blah, blah, blah. You know, educated man like yourself from the capital. I mean, there's rumors of rebels in the past, but no, it's, you know what I mean? Like, just this
Summarily.
yeah, conflicting stuff. So,
Summarily.
Yeah.
Broad strokes.
with those rolls, let's say, as far as you're concerned, not worth fretting over, even if you got it right or wrong, kind of thing. So, just double.
So, as I was saying, my friends, he informed me that a nearby citadel had been taken by human cavaliers, flying the flag of Imode, as well as
Disgusting.
That's rather close.
some Alexander blah 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 blah.
I'm sure some pretentious name of some sorts.
Alexaria
Alexaria
Cancellarian.
Cancellarian.
Yeah. It's a lot, I know.
What he said.
Who?
Alex.
He seemed to think
Alex
he was
Cans.
someone of note.
Shortened it to Alex Cans. Okay, maybe not.
It's terrible.
It's terrible.
I
Alexandria?
was thinking perhaps I should send word to the Duke. Or to the Count.
That would be an advisable counsel.
Do you think I should wait for Simmery or take this news myself?
You could also just like you've interacted with his guards.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like you could just write down some points and go here, get this to the guy, so you don't have to like ride all the way up to his house, right?
Oh, okay.
Because he's
Even better.
He's a ways, right? So pretty sure they can send a runner, but
So I'll head in, sit down at a desk, pull out some
Yep.
writing utensils, and flop my burned hands around with this Crayola style writing.
yeah, let's hear it. Like dear, let's hear the dear.
Dearest Count, immortal friend of mine, I am writing to inform you of an interesting individual that has come to our town. A hobgoblin by the name of, I already forget it, so whatever his name is.
Zagar. Zagar
A hobgoblin by the name of Zagar from Vulture Creek informed me that in passing he witnessed several cavaliers that seem to have removed the Hell Knights from the citadel whilst flying the flag of Imode. We thought perhaps this would be of note to you. Love, Nico. Little heart for the dot on the eye.
That's awesome. I had just the perfect music for it too. It's like Deep Thoughts of Galarian, or Gorian we were going to. It's just lovely piece of music because you're like all up in your head. So, I actually have music for three of you, for Professor Niles and Rom. Whenever you guys go on any kind of tangent, monologue, or historical, this is where I came from. Got the perfect stuff to frame each one of you. So feel free, tangent away. Anyway, so with Luca attending to personal business, Simri a little bit AWOL or definitely late. Did you guys just want to call it a day and regroup for tomorrow, or strike out in the evening?
Nico does not care. He's having wonderful time.
Well, perhaps a little wandering through town to make sure that most locals know that the authority is out and present and the curfew is enforced.
Sure.
Excellent idea.
Works for me.
Back into town we go. Now, do you remember how you guys cut a deal with Zogs? Anything interesting coming and going? Right?
Yes.
So, even though this guy came from the North Gate, Longacre Docks, and the Whisper River, I'm not so sure that he came off of a boat. You know what I mean? So, just so that you know that, like, that's a vague point in my story point. It's not Zogs, like, turning a blind eye and letting this guy drop in your lap and have you guys go to him going, hey, you said you'd tell us everything came through. A hobgoblin is son, you know, that type of thing. That's on me. So leave poor Mr. Zogs alone. He's doing his job. So, that said, you guys take a meal, regather, you know, time goes by, and you guys start circulating town, and right around supper time, you know, when people, not quite when they're heading home, but like the business day is wrapping up. Okay?
Yeah.
Early in the evening.
Yeah.
Round about dinner time.
Doodles, etchings, scratches, postings, 1, 2, 3, more and more significant places, corners of buildings. If you look at the map at 11 where we start and you guys head north, right, and say between 1 and the adjacent building right on the side of number 1, and then you move north some more, and like whatever, there's like 3 quarters, like wherever the roads join, right?
Yeah.
What first looks like littering until you finally have one blow in your face, or just take note of other people, you know, mumbling about it, see you guys and bail like, no, we didn't put it here. You guys discover handwritten flyers and postings all over the place bearing rough sketches of a woman in armor and a very familiar angelic helmet showing up around your town. And eventually, worst to worst, you guys make your full circuit around and come around to the top where the chapel is, and there's the town post up there. Sure enough, several are nailed to the town post. Some are left on benches, slid under doors, but, you know, would look like littering turned into some kind of... Anyway, in common, and in, you know, the breathed Chilaxian, a simple statement. Will you come when she calls? And then there's the picture, the hand sketch of the picture of the woman in armor with the angelic helm.
Seems someone's been busy spreading some propaganda.
I'll just immediately start ripping them all down.
Okay. People take note of your actions. You guys saw people like reading just any kind of thing on the post. Like there's other mail and stuff on the post, right? And they're reading this. You guys walk up, they just totally bail. Like they don't want to get caught reading anything that looks, you know, remotely suspicious. They remember the scene caused by the zealot when the Emodian church went off. Speaking of Emodian churches, there's one within a stone's throw of you, Rom. And now you're right out front ripping up papers that might be, you know, linked. But they were all around town. And if I could have you boys, you know, possibly take your headphones off for a minute so I can have a private word with Aiden. Just for a moment.
Sure.
I'll wave you back in. So Aiden Willems,
Yes.
Maybe it's time we talk a little bit about your background now that the boys don't know, just you, me, and the, dozens of audience listeners. Would you think,
Yeah.
or how about this? Knowledge religion. Do you have knowledge religion?
Yes, I do. The one.
Can I have a knowledge religion roll?
15.
Well, as fate would have it, for undisclosed reasons, feel free to jump in every time you want to reveal anything personal about yourself. For right now, for undisclosed reasons, you happen to know a little something about general religions that are allowed and are not allowed, or that actually are practiced in Cheliax. One of these religions that is practiced, though somewhat suppressed, is Imode. Imode. Yes?
Yes.
Can you tell us who the goddess is, how she came about, perhaps? A little history lesson on the goddess? Anything?
Yeah, I can do a little bit on that. Yeah, so Iomade is the goddess of supposed righteous valor, justice, and honor. Having served as Eridan's herald, she inherited many of the last Atlantes' followers upon his death, and continues to espouse the ideas of honor and righteousness in the defense of good and the battle against evil. She used to be a Chelaxian human, and joined the Shining Crusade, and ascended to lead the Knights of Ozim in the struggle against the forces of the Whispering Tyrant. Years of struggles brought about many great fears, including the creation of the artifact Hot's Edge from the pieces of her sword that had been broken by the Whispering Tyrant. An action immortalized as Iomede's 6th act. 1 through 5 were her on her knees. Also, in this time, she completed her 10th act after ruling Cantaria for a year and a day, battling faceless stalkers, under the control of the Veiled Masters.
I was actually just going for she was mortal, touch Starstone, and whammy, you have a paladin replacing Arodin. But that was great. Not bad at all.
She's overrated.
Not bad at all. So knowing a little bit about the religion, for whatever reason, you know that handing out flyers is not their style. Grandstanding with the helmet, gathering their flock together and doing that big grandstand of a speech, that's totally their style. So for them to do flyers after, you know what I mean? Like to take the subtle passive-aggressive approach after that big show, you're not really thinking that with a roll of 15 that it's the church is behind these flyers. Obviously, someone's trying to support the church. I mean, these buggers did pull out the helmet and the whole bit. It's got things going, started the seed, but directly responsible, maybe one of their faithful or someone else around town with a lot of pen and ink on their hands, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Anyway, these thoughts roaming through our audience and Rom's head as he's viciously ripping up, paper. And he goes to it. Like, he is like, gather them all, looking around, gathers them up, and then does that, shred, fold, like down to confetti. And he's just seething with it. And then he eats them, all the little pieces. Because that's the fiber that he promised Professor Niles that he get to his diet.
At least it's not meat.
Well, no, I'd make a pile of all the shreddings, take out my flint and steel, and light it ablaze.
Oh, there you go. All right, fair enough. Put it in your pipe and smoke it. You got a pipe?
No, I don't.
Okay. Open flames with you, buddy. So, what do you boys want to do now? Something is afoot. And I
will take one of the flyers before he rips it all up and fold it up and slip it in my pocket.
Okay. Evidence, right?
Yep.
Likewise.
Okay. You guys want to continue your circuit?
Yep.
You find more and more Somebody has literally blanketed the town this afternoon while you guys were otherwise preoccupied, or because you guys kind of had very direct things, like you went straight to the square and then were absorbed by Buddy. You know what I mean? Like this stuff might have been done yesterday when you guys were out at the barn, or last night. You know what I mean? Like it's been a while since you guys sort of like did the yell around. Either someone's monitoring your movements and dropping the stuff when you're not there, or it's done at night, one or the other.
Gotcha.
So, what's the plan? Do we care?
Well, yes, but there's nothing in the immediacy we can do about this.
Well,
Well, what we can do is take them down, and
Well,
then
Yes, of course, we can take them down. And
Well-
also,
monitor an area where they might come back and put them back up and ambush them.
not everybody in this small town would have the resources to do this.
No, indeed. It's definitely a campaign that has some funding behind it, at the very least, and motivation.
now, these are not printed press. These are handwritten, each and every one. Someone has spent hours, like, just copying and drawing. And like, obviously, it's a simple, so they can get a lot done. But it's hand-drawn and handwritten.
Written.
Yeah.
So indeed. So now we've narrowed down the list. And we have writing samples.
Yes? Yeah. You care to memorize the writing, and then just, you guys are going to, like, what, knock on doors and say, hi.
Oh, no, not directly go for that. That's just something we have.
Would you mind writing your full name and a few words like will and you and the word come and if? No reason, we're taking a survey, right? No, just kidding. Staking out, Rom's idea. Having evidence, Professor Niles. But is this a bit of a time burner, or you guys just gonna shelf it for now?
Is there any way we could seek this down other than canvassing around town more? This paper, this quantum amount, this is a large amount of paper.
Mhm.
Where did it come from?
Where could you get paper
That-
like this?
Exactly. That was my implication.
Local knowledge?
They literally left a paper trail.
Oh, sorry, man. I don't give out villain points for one-liners, but that was damn close. That was damn close. It was damn close. You know, I mean, I guess we could stack them because of Rom's overindulgence on the Pathfinder wiki about Amode. Stack with that awesome comment. The two of you can speak together one, just so Jay doesn't get them all. But no.
So you're saying that's a third that's being stolen from
No,
me. Got it.
no. Come on.
Hey, he's stealing it from me too.
The way to earn a villain point is to do something extra dastardly with style, and not something that, you know, it's the step further. Like you mentioned makeup, I ran with it, but it was Jay that was really evil by making it permanent. And that gets the big, right? And that's what got him a villain point. I forget how I gave him the second one. Oh, I think he was using the cockatrice to scare the crap out of the guys to see if they would react, knowing what the bird can do, or something like that.
That poor
I thought it was with the traitor earlier in the day.
Oh, the
guy that was trying to
shake it down.
rip us off. Yeah. Shake us
Oh,
down.
that's right. He was doing something.
I don't remember what he did though.
Well, they are party. Like I said, as long as Luca is within like eye shot of somebody like doing something terrible, then he can spend the point to, you know, save your bacon. You know what I mean? You can. This is one thing. Like one thing about these points I'm going to use, because hero points always have restrictions. You got to straight and narrow, right? Hero point very powerful, force point too weak. With a twist of villain point, he can actually allow this point to have a very special ability you never see in a game, is that he can spend it on your behalf. You know, they're always saying, can I give him my force point? Can I give him? No. Well, villain points, you can. But his character has to be present. You can't have a player going, yeah. I send happy villainy thoughts your way and it saves your butt across town. No.
What if you have telepathy? Just saying. Saying.
It's a valid question.
No, I think they need to see the incident to, have the juju to have divine intervention or the luck of the villain. Anyway, but enough about that. What to do? Lodge local. Gentlemen, trained, untrained? What do we got?
Untrained it did.
All of us untrained.
19.
0.
8.
0. Yeah, freaking game.
Delicious paper.
Oh no.
Rolling zeros.
Oh no, I can't rely on the characters' knowledge. We'll have to go with the players. So, gentlemen, with the RP experience that you've all racked up over the years, where would one buy paper in bulk, or what kind of place in town would stock a lot of paper that someone could beg, borrow, or steal? Because that's pretty much 3 ways you can get paper, right? They either bought it, they mooched it, or the owner doesn't know it's gone and they've run off with it and they're making their little flyers.
But then there's the ink that's required as well.
Well, whoever has paper probably has ink. You imagine that? Stationery here, stationery. Every color, tan, Valenium, all this type of thing. Even I have papyrus. Do you have a quill? Get out. You just never see that. Go see my cousin across the street. Pens and quills. Family business. Got to keep both going, right? You guys remember the gnome in Age of Ashes that had like the 2 stores? And he jumped from one to the other. Anyway, so what do you think, boys?
Well, find out what local businesses we have in town to choose from.
Well, how many have you visited? Where have you been?
There's Guild's General Store. We haven't been there, I don't think.
The general store, we've been there. We've seen Ola.
Nico hasn't, but
I haven't.
Oh, no. You haven't seen Ola.
What else is there? I don't know. Is it paper? Or is it is it paper or is it hide? Like,
can I have intelligence from Nico and Professor Cronin? No offense, Ron, but just they two we're both
I'm
dog.
an idiot.
4.
And I'm not going to remember what I'm not going to tell you what I just mentioned with your hobgoblin and his papers.
7.
Yep. No hints for you either, Professor Niles. It's all right. You guys are on your own. Argue it out. Store or somewhere else, right?
So would there happen to be a scribe or library
Possibly.
in town? Place for learned individuals to go?
Simmery has not.
About that wizard. He has books.
Yeah, maybe.
Is there magic involved with this at all?
Well, just because you guys don't have Simmery doesn't mean you can't just go roll up on someone and go, hey, you. You live here? Yeah.
We're totally going to roll up on someone, but who do we roll up on? That's the question. I would say I would start at the store. That's where I would go.
No, I mean like a citizen going, hey, if I wanted to buy paper, where would I go? And they would list,
Yes. But indeed, you haven't met Ola yet. Nicola.
It seems that would be a wise place to start. At the very least, he could point us in the directions of other places one could acquire such quantities.
Okay. So Rom and Professor Niles take Nico to Guild's General Store. Sisters Imona and Ola Guild, both middle-aged women. Too young for you, Nico. But that old fox rocking back and forth with the steely gaze in the chair, maybe that's a little bit more your speed. Mom.
Hello. What is this scent? It is intoxicating.
Get off me, you pansy. And she stomps the floorboard on her step. She's like on this little perch behind the till. I haven't stunk pretty for years.
Surely you jest.
She holds out her cane and keeps you at 5 foot. Try me.
I would love to.
Feisty one.
Perhaps later, though. We are here for business purposes.
She folds her cane and stacks it, points at the till, and points at her daughters that are roaming the aisles. They're actually watching you guys, really afraid. Ola's kind of encroaching on Mom, trying to, like point out the armband you're wearing. Like, Ma.
Nothing.
Perhaps we can get better acquainted at another time. Thank you. And I'll leave her to be and go hustle off to one of her daughters.
Okay. Can I have perception from the other two?
Seven.
Niles?
A new one.
Always persistent. When Nico's back is turned, the woman harumps, but also flares an eyebrow, and the hair, the fingers gently brush hair over her ear with the sort of, I still got it kind of gesture. Niles is the only one that sees this, yeah.
I knew introducing him here was a good idea.
Hmm.
No, you needn't be concerned.
You have a previous reputation with these people.
We've only met in passing before. I've been a patron of the store once before.
Interesting. And then I'll move on down to one of the daughters.
Okay.
Excuse me. If one were to be acquiring a large sum of, and I'll reach into my pocket and with it folded up so she can't see the actual drawing, but see the material itself.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Paper like this. Is this something that you would carry?
She holds out her hand to look at it, or maybe, like she just feels it. And she says, oh, yeah, we have that. We have a couple different kinds here. It's just standard stock, the type that comes, it's not made in town. It's imported here, but everyone uses it, carries it. And we actually get it in bulk and sell it. So anyway, their bulk is literally like, I don't know, like Staples or whatever, and they have the 2 wrapped parcels for your 100-page and then some loose stuff, and there's like a price for, per page or whatever.
And that's all they have?
Yeah. That's all they have out on display.
Sure. If one was to be inquiring for a larger quantity, is this something you would carry? Or would they have to seek a larger supplier?
We have a decent amount on hand. How many sheets did you need?
All right, let's have Nico do some rough math in his head. Approximately how many sheets?
Oh, well, somebody blanketed the town, so we're talking like 50 or to 100 easy. Like someone spent an entire night like drawing this crap and then stuffing it under doors and strategically placing it everywhere.
Okay, so I'm going to say 70.
Okay.
Just to ballpark it. If someone was to be in the market for 70 sheets of this paper, perhaps more, perhaps a little less, but in that area, is that something you would be able to supply?
Yes, we have like bundles of 20, 25. Well, it's more than I have here on display. Just a moment. And she looks around the store and calls out to, do you guys remember the halfling that was eyeballing you guys?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So she calls out to, where are we here? Miss Runder, Casawella. And you hear something shift outside of eye view in the back shelves, and she comes plodding around the corner. And she sees you guys, and the little eyebrows flare. These gentlemen are wishing to purchase parchment, just the standard grade, around 70 pieces. Could you bring a couple bundles from the basement? Now, Miss Rounder, because she just kind of tilts her head like it doesn't compute. You know what I mean? Like she just pauses, and she's like, now, Caswell, again with a scowl at you guys, and she runs off and goes through a door and, goes down to their stock room. Anyway, she does return with paper.
And,
20. It's 20. So here's 4 stacks. It gives you 80. Wrapped up in.
Packs of 20.
Yeah.
What's the cost on that?
Probably minuscule. I mean, you're paying more for the fact that it's out of town, and you know what I mean?
Yep.
I'm sure it's within budget. Certainly not gold or silver. It's probably X amount of coppers or whatever.
Okay.
I mean, it's not uncommon and it's not hard to get your hands on, but parchment isn't something that was industry made in this type of world. So, you know, it is all very accounted for.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
And so I'll buy it.
Okay.
Ask for it to be gift wrapped.
Okay.
And while it's being gift wrapped, I'll do some small talk to see if I can figure out if there's been anybody else who's made any large purchases
Okay.
of paper in the last little while. Diplomacy. 19.
So is this roundabout to get them to volunteer, or do you
Yep.
just straight up ask them?
No, I will. Actually, you know what? I am militia. Fuck it. Straight up ask.
Okay.
Um,
Intimidate.
Pardon my French. I don't have to intimidate.
No,
I can straight up ask them in a very diplomatic
So
way.
when you said I'm militia, so I thought you just like lean in going, look, has anyone bought anything? Okay, sure.
She's like, this is a very good quality. Is this a popular item? Have you had anyone come in and purchase a large sum of this in the recent past?
This is our most standard. They tell you that this is the cheapest stuff that we have. It's sturdy, but there's that bits floating in it, and it has that. It's not nice and white. It has that pallid yellow, almost gray composure because of the quality, but it's pretty sturdy stuff, and it still holds ink and shows up well enough. Just doesn't look very clean. But we'd have to check the ledgers. Sorry, we do business all day, and Mama writes it down. Type of thing. What we can find out.
But of course, please do.
Okay. Did you want to know everyone that's bought paper from us, and from how far back?
He'll look over to Niles. What do you think, Professor? How far back should we inquire?
Give us your most recent records, and then while we go over those, if you could fetch the rest going backwards, that would be much obliged.
For like the year?
Start with last week's, yes.
Oh, okay.
You keep them in sequential order, correct?
Somewhat. I mean, we do have to pay taxes to the Baron, so they need records of receipts, and you know what I mean? It is a business.
Good, then this shouldn't take too long.
Well, the Baron comes tax collecting, monthly or, whateverly, and they probably just throw it in a bin and then sort it all out one night around the campfire kind of thing really quickly. So anyway, they ask for, a couple hours, if not a day, if you're polite about it, to get this in order, especially if it's like a week's worth of stuff.
Certainly, of course. As soon as you could, though. This is a matter of importance to us.
Sure.
And I'll drop an extra single gold coin down on the counter.
Okay. So, yeah, definitely.
Your loyalty to the Baron is appreciated.
The old bird gives a bit of a humph, loud enough that you hear it, but not loud enough that she's pointedly going, "Hello?" That kind of thing, right?
A maiden with spirit. That is exactly what I like. We should have drinks sometime, you and me.
I couldn't handle this. Anyway.
And with that,
okay, but if you're not
with a flourish of the cloak,
you're not buying anything else, you're putting off our other customers. And she points the cane at the door, but she also turns her head to her best side while doing it at you, Nico, looking commandingly. So
perfect.
So ever since our special guest, fellow podcaster, did that hospice lady, and implied something on you, you've just been like grave robbing ever since, man. Just
The blood is better with age.
Yeah.
With age comes flavor.
So, not bad, man.
In other words, the older it gets, the riper it is. Yeah, boy.
No, I was gonna say you get that. That's 2/3, man. You're getting close to your own VP here. But if I give you one for just tenacity,
Wait, you said villainous, but the night is not done.
that's right. Well, fairly enough, the night is somewhat uneventful, leading us into the next day, and the next, and it's 2 days later. You guys get up, you patrol. There's not much going on. You run into Simri. She backs, what Ram said to the audience about Imode. If you had any questions about, you show her the flyer. She spouts a lot of the same stuff. She tells you that Ridimir is actually south on the river, near the ocean, across the river. And backs any of your rolls or any of your supposits, right? You do hear from Simri that people are put off because apparently the Archbaron is allowing monsters in the streets. And mercenaries, and that he's hiring mercenaries. Like, I haven't seen any monsters. Anyway.
You must be speaking of my friend.
That's a very generic and broad scope. Monsters? I see no hydras.
It's a small town, she reminds you. People are very narrow-minded. That's why I want out of this place. But for now, allowing your buddy just to like roam around and go about his business before he leaves is, people aren't liking it. Ignore my note-taking. So, 2 days later, or I should say, not much goes on within 2 days, except those records are brought to you.
Okay. Any big purchases?
Nope. Their best client is the notary.
Or small, regular customers?
I would have to say there's no one really sort of nickels and dimes. Like, even though they have that little price pile, you need a page, right? Okay. So everybody does that. Like, everyone picks up 3 pages with their apples, the whole freaking town. And then they sit on that paper on their fridge until they finally need it by the end of the week of the month or whatever, right? Scribbling, those that can write, right? Then it swings heavily the other way. Like, there's no consistent buying. It's either next to nothing by everyone or significant buyers like the local notary, where you could get your hobgoblin papers renewed. Those guys buy in bulk, and they buy fine quality paper, not the crap that they do have. Like, they buy everything, actually. Sorry, they buy all grades. But obviously their biggest thing is buying a lot of the high quality stuff in bulk, and they order it right for them. So it's like whenever they get their paper order and they order, like, I don't know, so many stacks of really good stuff for themselves, that's what the general store needs and sells for the year. The notary, they order on top of their own stuff an extra 500 bundles, and they give it to them once a year or whatever. But it's, anyway, it just so happens that, like, in this past week, with all the crackdown and stuff, right? They closed the gates or whatever. The notary showed up and said, "Hey, can you get my order?" And they went, "No." Well, give me everything you got, right? So there's that purchase. Anyway.
Seems that might be a place to check. Perhaps their stock does not align with what they should have. Maybe an employee?
I mean, the taverns have it. The armory has some. The local historical society has some. Everybody has some. But, like, as far as like a major freaking purchase, you'd have the notary, and maybe the Ruckler, the wizard, might go in for like a big bundle here and there. I'd have to even say that, like, Zogs himself buys a decent amount of paper because of all the paperwork back and forth on the docks. But it's not
suspicious.
Well, I kind of screwing myself by saying that everyone happened to buy paper this week, But anyway,
That's it. We arrest them all.
yeah, your jail's filled up. Women on the left cell, men on the right. Monsters in the middle.
We now have a purpose. Purpose.
Sure, rack them and stack them. How many prisoners? How many prisoners do we have? What do you do with those two guys? They're still held for. Hope we're feeding and watering.
We were
them.
going to hold them. Well, the guy who assaulted us, weren't we going to like
the bartender you let go, right? But the two ranch hands that like tried to mail you cockatrice and obviously try to cause all
yeah, those guys.
They're still here.
Yeah.
They're still here. I just hope someone fed and watered them because otherwise they're not going to be here much longer.
Oh, they may cut in the bare minimum at least.
Yeah, bread and water. Butter if they're nice.
In their water.
Wait, isn't butter actually really expensive? Like in these times?
To some.
He takes a big scoop, like licks most of off the knife, and then just gives them the oil saliva knife. There you go. There's your butter ration, boys. Yeah. Inspiring villain points wherever I go. So, seriously though.
Yeah, no, we would not let them starve to death, but what are we doing with them? I don't know. I do like the idea of the mock trial execution in the square.
What?
Well, things do seem to be getting a little tense around here. Perhaps a display of authority might be necessary.
So you're going to give them a trial or some kind of kangaroo trial and then off with their heads?
Well, it was assault and attempted murder of several officials.
Not to mention the potential fallout of it happening in such a populated area as the docks.
And not to mention, it was the consequences outside of their targets. Everyone else, the dock workers, as Nikolai is mentioning.
Wanton disregard for the safety of the people of this town. It is only fortunate that we encountered it and not somebody else. Could have been disastrous.
I haven't found it yet.
As for the punishment for that, I will leave it to somebody's hands who perhaps has more experience in dealing with the local laws. I don't mind carrying out the punishment, though.
One dissident! Two dissidents!
I
One
would be
dissident.
glad to present the evidence and be the persecutor.
You put the big executioner hood on Rom.
Yeah,
Why?
backwards.
I remember that. Sorry. So you guys are going to send out word to the town or post a notice that in a day's time or something a public trial hearing will be held.
Yep.
Mhm.
Considering this,
Yep.
so you guys write all this out. Good thing you bought that paper. Do your own flyers. Come one, come all to the trial. all right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. When you see it, will you come? And use the slogan
Yeah, really.
and read it.
Yeah, and knock it off.
Will you stand and fight against the invading armies?
Okay. So you guys
That's-
spent all night making.
Actually, counter propaganda isn't a bad idea.
It's
It's not a bad idea. Who's good
Hey,
at writing stuff?
I was gonna say, you guys even want to
Nice.
like do some forgery, like try and forge the hand. Yeah, same handwriting.
that's like a bluff.
Yeah. Oh,
Sure.
I'm so bad. I'm just handing you good ideas, man.
I'm gonna toss a bluff
I'm
out.
so
I
bad.
believe that would technically actually be linguistics to do that.
Yeah.
To forge something.
Yes.
We're not
Really?
we're not forging something. We're
Yeah, you're copying
being
handwriting.
stylized.
He has a point. It would be linguistics.
Yeah, it is
Sounds-
linguistics
yeah.
for sure.
It's based off intelligence. So I probably shouldn't do it.
Oh, I have a +2.
Professor, it seems that you are the best candidate for this job. Hands him the Sharpie.
Yeah.
Well, if you insist, my penmanship is admirable.
I actually like this idea quite a bit.
Yeah. Seriously, like all night long, the quill flies, right?
Yeah. Plus 12. Oh, 12 linguistic, untrained.
Okay.
Oh, you can add my 16 on that to bump it to 14. Pass it over here. I'll color in the lines.
Oh, he's
Uses the artwork on the edges.
He actually does like an artistic rendition of the Emote angel. Like it actually looks better than the original.
Yeah, but you kind of reimagine it, like, but the angel, but with like a guillotine and like a kind of a balance kind of thing.
Well, he makes the Emotian
so
look
totally redirecting it.
Yeah, he makes the Emotian look absolutely ridiculous, but it's actually like better art style than the original.
Yeah, like makes like I like Imumede, like little kind of unpleasant caricature. It's like I don't.
Yeah, exactly.
I
But
hate that I'm this good at this.
Mom said I should have been a notary lawyer. All right.
And yeah, at some point in time during those couple days, stop by the notary, see if there's been a bunch of their stock that's suddenly gone missing of the lower grade stuff as well.
Okay. Any thefts reported? Nope. Do you have all your stock? As far as we know. Let me go look.
You should do that. It's a good idea.
One braid breaking bull disappears for a long while. Comes back. Nope. Everything's in order. As far as I can tell.
Very good, very good. Tell me, did a hobgoblin mercenary stop by to have his papers updated?
Why, yeah. Just yesterday. What was his name? Zax. Zogs. Zucker. Anyway, he starts leafing through like a log to get you the,
Okay.
to get you the, like, the name again. Is just like, Zakes? No, that wasn't it. Zagar. Ah, yeah, Zagar. He was Zagar Vulturecrag right here. See, right here. Yeah, he's Vulturecrag. Yeah, big guy, big fellow, big fellow. Yeah. He's biggin. He's really red eyes. I'm surprised that Archbaron is allowing. Looks left and right, leans into the Damphir is like a person such as himself inside the city gates, considering the proclamations and curfew. You know what I'm saying?
This town does not discriminate. As long as people follow the rules, they will be left in peace. If they do not, there are consequences.
He was little in his cups, not talking about the man's species, but his own. He did sort of smell of whiskey and alcohol, and he did. I believe he was a little in his cups because his the way he spoke, and he does an impression of him, thinking that the man's jutting teeth and the Sean Connery, the way the guy talked had something to do with drink, not the fact that that's just the way hobgoblins talk. So this narrow-minded individual, believes that but anyway, had the money, so we did him up, sent him on his way.
Excellent. Thank you.
Mentioned your name, actually, Mr. Anatoly.
Yes, I sent him here to have his paperwork updated. There was some issues at the gates.
May I ask, are there going to be, should I prepare more? Are you, or the Archbaron, I should say, is the Archbaron hiring more mercenaries?
Hiring mercenaries? No, he only stopped in town to resupply.
Oh.
Is he not left?
No, just that's what I heard was the you and the Archbaron were hiring.
It is nonsense, as if the Archbaron would need any more than us. And he points at the armband.
Of course. I meant no offense. So I just Yes.
None taken, none taken. Please, do have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Thank you. And come again.
Peace.
He just, just wiping his brow, sweating like with a little nappy, the entire conversation. Very nervous little Bob Hope kind of fellow. So, yes, that's right. Bob Hope. It's an older reference. Look it up, but it's worth your time.
And it
It
still
is.
checks out.
Thank you.
Yep.
So, on your way, I don't know. What do you want to take from that?
I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Where else could we look into this?
Try the Historical Society.
Under the church. I mean, it seems unlikely, but it's possible.
Fairly unlikely, considering your roles. Your idea wasn't half bad though, Rom. But doing a little stakeout, see if somebody tries to reblanket the town. Not especially since you guys are like counter. Like,
Oh, I definitely think laws should be enacted, where propaganda like this that is put up is highly illegal, to have it on the walls of your property. So then the
that's
owners
not
of the
a bad
buildings
idea.
will take more responsibility for what is displayed on them.
there is something Simri will warn you about. Enforcing Archbaron's
down,
laws is what we do. Making up new ones and bylaws, not a great idea. You start mincing
I
the
would
Archbaron.
suggest this to Archbaron, not try to enforce it myself directly without putting it through the proper channels.
Yes, perhaps we should see what he would like us to do with them.
We were invited there. Maybe we should contact Roslargo and have that sent
Yeah.
along. You don't just like show up unannounced. He's-
No. I
Yeah.
wasn't saying that.
Yeah.
Like, do the message to the Baron thing through the guards and be like, "Yo, this is going down. What do you want us to do?"
Yeah, well, it's basically Simri thinks it's like, no, we're supposed to act and think for ourselves. That's why we're hired. If we like show up after a week going, we're stumped, or how would you micromanage the situation? Simri's like, strongly advised against no. I'd rather us do something bold and fuck up and ask forgiveness than go up there and look like idiots that we don't like. We're wrong for this job.
Now we're talking. Kill the entire town.
No,
But wait,
no.
what if we caught the perpetrators who put the posters up and had a public trial and public execution?
Well, I guess we could do a 3-for-1, Simri says, considering you guys already have some kind of trial planned for tomorrow. That would give us 1 day to catch them.
How many prisoners do we have?
I'll tell you what, while you guys are mulling this over, I'm going to go get some rest and I'll sneak around tonight and see if I can catch anybody, skulking around.
Well, we have someone in custody now.
Who? For the Flyers? You have,
Yes.
Could be.
Yes.
so we've had them for a couple days. It's not like they broke out and blanketed the town and then snuck back
No.
into jail.
But they were in conspiracy with.
Well, I guess you could question them.
They attacked us. They are in cahoots.
Maybe.
What?
And we will publicly announce that they spilled the beans.
Trying to make the other guys sweat it and screw up. Okay. Well,
Well, perhaps we should allow Simuri to have a look around town. Before we go announcing things like this, it'd be perhaps better to think that we are not trying to catch them rather than announce that we are.
well,
Oh.
you guys need to get your rest tonight for your big trial tomorrow. You don't really need me for that, so I'm going to crash now, and I'll blanket the town tonight, see if I can't spot anyone up to, I mean, she is good for this job. You know what I mean?
That's her role.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Send her for it. Please, Simuri, don't hesitate to request assistance should you require it, but we shall leave this in your hands.
sure. So you guys plan for your big day tomorrow, speeches, evidence, make it all
Yep.
sound very official as you can.
It's all scripted. We have like a stage routine. We have marks we're supposed to be standing on.
rolling local
Who's going to play the judge?
knowledge for Simmery.
Oh, I was gonna vote you because I literally have a terrifying battle mask that I could wear to be the executioner.
There's a competition for the executioner.
Yeah. I want to
intimidate off.
Intimidate off. Excuse me while I whip this out. Scary face.
Okay. So Simmery, before she goes to the other room, she says, well, while you boys are, deciding on who gets to have the fun, you might want to talk to the notary about how like this is legally done. So we're not stepping on any toes, because no one's going to take a trial seriously if we don't do it according to custom, not even the Archbaron. Right. So I suggest you guys, find out some legal procedures brush up on your legal. I'm going to crash. And then you guys have all night to discuss about who gets to, wear the big robe. Night. And she, as usual, she seems kind of annoyed with you guys.
It's totally understandable. I'd be annoyed by us too.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
And
we're a good team.
Why
for
didn't you
other
like
things,
us?
Yeah.
not this.
Yeah.
It's subtly evil, like the kind of evil
Yeah.
that just gets under your skin and gives you the heebie-jeebies.
And we'll see you guys next time on the Foul Parody Podcast. Stay tuned for episode 2 tonight live stream, and check tomorrow or the next day for this being uploaded to everywhere you can find your podcasts, because we're down to our last 2 episodes, ladies and gentlemen, for the season. So say goodnight, Professor Cronin.
Good night, everyone, and sleep tight.